Good morning, class. Today we'll be talking about themes. Before we get started, I'd like to go over two objectives. One objective is our content objective. I will be able to paraphrase the theme and supporting details of fables, legends, myths, and stories. And our next language objective will be I will be able to paraphrase the theme and supporting details by identifying important information about fables, legends, myths, and stories. Alright, now let's not forget, objectives means our goals of the day. So by the end of this lesson, we should be able to accomplish these goals that we have. Great. So, now that we have read both our content objectives, I have underlined some key information. And so with an elbow partner, I would like for you to discuss what you think we will be doing today based on the underlying information we have up here. And I will give you about 2 minutes to talk to your elbow partner. All right, I see lots of hands. Elisha, what did you and your elbow partner come up with? All right, did you say paraphrase? Great. Paraphrase is one of our key words. And paraphrase actually means to express the meaning of written text using different words. All right. So now that we have gone over our objective, I'd like to see how comfortable you are with our objectives of the day. So by a show of fingers, I want you to tell me how well you understand our objectives. 1 finger if you do understand this concept. 2 fingers if it looks familiar to you or you've seen something like this before. Or 3 fingers. 3 fingers for if you really don't understand what we're talking about, I need some more time elaborating our content for today. I see lots of 1s, a few 2s, and no 3s. Great. With our objectives in mind, I'd like to continue reading a book called The Fox and the Cat. Before we read this book, I want us to look at this word cloud that I have. In this word cloud, we have different words from the book. And I'd like for you to ask yourself, who do you think these characters of the story will be? What kind of stories have animals as characters? And I would like for you to pay attention to the words hound, enemy, and escaping. What do you think happens in the story if these words appear a lot in the text? I want you to think about the words one way and 100. As we read the story together, I would like for you to refer to this word cloud and think, why are they important? Now, let's ask ourselves, what do we know about fables? So I would like for us to turn our attention to this map, and this is actually called a concept map. What is our theme? Great. Our theme today is fables. That's right. All right, a fable. What is it? What is a fable? Alicia? Okay, it is stories. They are stories. Great job, Alicia. All right. What are some characteristics to a fable? So what's something you can find only in fables? All right, Sophia? Animals as characters. Great job, Sophia. Anything else? All right, Marisa? All right, they usually have lessons or morals of the story. All right, and as we go on with this lesson, I'll talk a little bit more about lessons or morals in the story. And what are some examples? Have you seen any fables before, Melissa? Can you think of a story that you've read previously? Turtle and the Hare. Do you remember what happened in that story? Yes, I think we all remember what happens in that story. That story is whenever the rabbit really thought he was going to win a race against the turtle, so he decided to take a nap before or during the race. And the turtle did end up winning. Awesome. So far we reviewed our objectives and what a fable is. So let's go ahead and dive into our book, The Fox and the Cat. Alright, so now that we've read our story, what were some key points of our story today? Okay, so the fox insisted that he knew hundreds of ways of escaping. And what else? Okay, and the cat only knew one way, right? And so what ended up happening with that? Yes, so as the hounds grew nearer, that cat used that one successful way of escaping and climbed into a tree. But because the fox had so many different ways, he didn't know which one to pick. And so the hound ended up eating the fox. Great. So, with that little bit of information we just put together right there, do you know what we just did? We just paraphrased the story. Great. So in today's lesson, what did we learn? What was our moral or lesson of the story, of the book we just read? That's right, Nereida. It is better just to have one way than 100 ways. That is the moral of our story today. Great. Now that we have paraphrased together as a group, I would like for each student to quickly jot down one word that captures the whole essence of today's lesson. And in your groups, I would like for you to combine these words into a sentence. And the sentence does have to be a complete sentence and also make sense. And you also have to use every single word your group had written down. Alright, everyone is doing so great. Again, I would like to see where we are at and how well we understand the objective of today. So, again, by show of fingers, I want you to tell me how well you understand the objectives of the day. One finger if you feel like you can teach this objective to someone else. Two fingers if you understand most of it, but not quite everything. And three fingers if you really just don't understand it and we kind of need to practice one more time. Awesome. Lots of ones. That's what I like to see. Alright, so let's go ahead and continue with our next lesson.